Hello, my wandering souls, my fearless seekers, my liminal space travelers. This message is going to be for someone who is needing, desiring, or moving through change and are feeling resistant to that change. So we're going to look at the change that you're resisting, why you might be resisting it, as well as what's possible when you do. These messages will confirm what you already know or reveal what's been sitting just beneath the surface. Take what fits, leave the rest. You have 3 soul paths for you to choose from. Timestamps are in the description, along with links that will help you turn these insights into action. For those who would like a close-up of the soul paths today, let me do that right now. For soul path 1, we have number 34 with loss and lack. For soul path 2, we have number 30 with setting boundaries. And for soul path 3, we have number 39 with miracles. Use your intuition to choose a pile that is calling to you, or you can choose to listen to all 3. And with that, I'll see you in your reading. For those who chose loss and lack, number 34, this message is going to be for you. I feel like part of this resistance to change has something to do with a loss that you've experienced, or maybe multiple, and maybe a lack mentality that you currently find yourself in. So this change that you might be resisting is asking you to shift your focus on the now and redefine your future experiences in this moment, rather than having an expectation that you will always be in this place. You will always be a victim. You will always be in fear. You will always be threatened by this potential future loss that you might be anticipating. But this assumption might be keeping you stuck. There could be some fear around having abundance and losing that, of I can't wish or hope for good things, for joy, for wealth, health, happiness, because it will ultimately be taken away from me. So there's a story or a belief that is happening within this mindset. And that may be the thing to explore at this time. So let's get into the tarot now. What change are you resisting? The Queen of Pentacles, yes, receiving wealth, abundance, good fortune, stability, comfort, security. Bottom of the deck, 6 of Pentacles, more pentacle energy, and this is reciprocity energy. Where in your life do you have a lack mindset of I don't have enough, I am not enough, I am looking for abundance, but I can't find it? Let's get a couple more on the table, and then we'll talk about your message. Overall, I feel like there's a resistance to receiving. There's almost this pushing away as well. So there's another queen. So you have 2 queens on the table, which is telling me that, and then we have the loss and lack card at the bottom of the deck after everything was said and done. I feel like that's relevant, so I'm going to put that out there. But right now, I am seeing someone who feels challenged to receive. And the change that you're resisting is the exact thing that you need to lean into in order to move towards what it is you desire. So it's getting clear about what you want, getting clear about what you need, having healthy boundaries, and not putting up boundaries for the sake of blocking things out, keeping things away, but to protect your time, your energy, your integrity, your truth. But with these pentacles, to start our reading, what change are you resisting and why? Could be surrounding finances. So there could be a financial block, a lack mindset around finances, money. And maybe there is an effort of wanting to attain, but your nervous system might still be in a fear state of receiving and holding that wealth. This could also be health and home as well. What do you feel you are worthy of? Or where do you place value within yourself? In how much you earn? In how much you have? In what you build or create? In your productivity? I feel you might be giving a lot of yourself, but are still not gaining that security, that comfort, that stability. You might still be in a lack or a loss. And so how can you open yourself up to receive and be comfortable receiving? That might be the first place to start. And ways to lean into this change is to focus on your purpose, your big vision, your dream, your soul purpose, alignment, healing. This is a powerful card. And so it's remembering why there needs to be reciprocity in what you are giving and what you are receiving. I also feel there is a strong suggestion to heal something that you have experienced that you haven't been able to move beyond or move through. So this change that you're resisting might actually be the thing that you need in order to heal a lifelong story and align you to some kind of purpose. To be able to create safety within your nervous system, to be able to receive and welcome in money, be paid well for your gifts, your talents, your offerings. Queen of Swords is what's possible when you do lean into healing is you become really clear about who you are, where you're going, what you want, need, and desire. And there's no beating around the bush on this. This is clear-cut boundaries. This is, again, receiving information, being open to information. Always on the search for truth. And once you know that truth, to wield that truth. To be firm in that truth. So there's a new truth that is revealed through this experience, through this change. And you become really knowledgeable or wise because of it. And this card was reflecting the opening energy, so I took it as the Five of Cups, which is an energy of resentment, of regret, of loss, of seeing the cups spilled and wanting so much for the cups to be filled again or to put the liquid back in the cups, but unfortunately, it can't. So there's an acceptance that comes with what has been lost, and to be inspired to move forward, to try again, to not make this the story of your future. That this is an opportunity to write a new future, to communicate to yourself differently, to communicate to others differently. Watch how you talk to yourself. Watch how you think. There's something about self-fulfilling prophecies here. So I feel that it's really important to not push against this particular change, because I feel there's a higher purpose beyond this change. Once you lean into it, once you heal through it, once you shift and transmute and feel through it, there's something to be received on the other side of this. So that is today's reflection, my dear Soul Path 1. Join my inner circle over on Patreon or work with me one-on-one to turn these insights into grounded action. Links are in the description. And also, please like and subscribe to support the channel and to see more videos like this. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one. For those who chose number 30, setting boundaries, this message is going to be for you. So, boundaries. They are not to control or manipulate other people and how they treat you, how they interact with you. They are to protect yourself, but not armor yourself. They are to protect your integrity, your truth, your needs, your desires at any given moment. And a lot of the times these boundaries cannot simply be spoken, they must be acted upon in order to really drive that point home. So I feel that part of your resistance is around setting boundaries. And this is what needs to change, this resistance to setting boundaries. You leaning into these boundaries is what needs to change. And holding the discomfort of setting those boundaries, of honoring your boundaries. So when you set a boundary, how can you honor that? How can you root down into that without wavering, without appeasing, without stepping back on those boundaries? So there's an expansiveness that comes with that. And maybe even stronger relationships. So let's get into your message now. So, thank you. Yeah. So just clarifying the topic card, the Tower in reverse. Yeah, there's a fear here of setting boundaries. I don't want to be mean. I don't want this person to judge me, reject me, criticize me. There's a fear of what's going to happen to this relationship dynamic, the situation, if I set boundaries. Will I fall apart? Will the relationship fall apart? Will everything fall apart? I feel like there could be a lot of fears, but I feel like this tower moment needs to happen because there's something here that is being built on faulty foundations. And when you aren't truthful in these boundaries and you say yes when you really want to say no, or when you say no when you really want to say yes, you're not living in your integrity. You're not acting upon your truth. And people can't really know you when that truth is not revealed in a clear way, in a way that is self-respecting. So I feel like there is some relationship in your life that possibly doesn't feel like an authentic expression of who you truly are within that dynamic because of the lack of boundaries. And you may have this desire to set more boundaries, to be respected, to do more things that you want to do. But there's a fear of that. And what change you're resisting is stepping into your strength and not responding from that place of fear. Patterns of behavior, emotional drivers, nervous system responses, obligations, all of those kind of wild impulses or instincts that are maybe driving the bus when it comes to not having those boundaries or having soft boundaries. And then that feeds a lack of confidence or self-assurance, maybe a frustration with self. And why is you might feel that boundaries are a weakness or boundaries put you at a disadvantage. But really, boundaries are the thing that will get you to where you would like to go, to the success that you would like to have. There's also something coming through here about being in the spotlight. You don't want to center yourself. You don't want to have the attention. But the other side of that coin might be you want to be liked. celebrated, appreciated, loved, admired. Absolutely nothing wrong with those things. But your approach needs to come from a place of self-respect first, and from those that truly see who you are and love and appreciate you for who you are, not what you do for them. Boundaries are kindness. Kindness to yourself, but also kindness to others, because they know where you stand. They can see you more honestly. Ways to lean into this change. I love that the King of Swords came out with this, because the king knows his truth. The king has the boundaries in place and shares this wisdom and knowledge and communicates with others in a very clear and diplomatic way, in a very kind way. But he doesn't beat around the bush. He sees things from a higher perspective. He doesn't look at the short-term gains. He looks at the long-term gains of what can be learned, what can be understood, what can be clarified if I stand in my truth in the long term. Maybe that cuts people out. If I have a boundary, perfect. Because those people may never respect your boundaries, may never respect you, no matter how much you bend and shift and shape yourself to be who you think that they want you to be. So the point is to draw a line in the sand and to not only have more clear communication between the relationships, and also to see how people respond to those boundaries, but also to cut people out that aren't going to respect them ever. Seven of Swords in reverse, another sword energy, is what's possible when you do is that you no longer hide who you are. You become a more authentic expression. You become more forthcoming, more open, more honest with yourself, but also especially with others. And you no longer have to spend energy trying to get external validation or permission to be who you want to be. You just are. And you give yourself that permission. Because anything else will feel exhausting. Will feel like you're holding up this tower all by yourself. And that resistance will remain. I also feel that it's going to help you become more confident the more boundaries that you set. It almost becomes empowering. So how can you get curious about setting more boundaries? They don't have to be big right now. Just set little boundaries. Say no when you want to say no. And don't over-explain yourself. Don't justify yourself. Just allow it to be a clear no. And see how that feels. Start building upon that. And lean into your truths a little bit more every day. So that is today's reflection, my dear soul path 2. Join my inner circle on Patreon or work with me one-on-one to turn these insights into grounded action. Links are in the description. Also, please like and subscribe to support the channel and to see more videos like this. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one. For those who chose 39, Miracles, Ancient Wisdom, this message is going to be for you. I feel the change might have to do with some wisdom or some truth or some understanding that you've come to and are maybe nervous about implementing. Maybe you're nervous about learning something new or nervous about what this new knowledge is going to change. But I feel it's going to be elevating you or transcending something or ascending you to some new level, new height. Expanding a truth or something that you know, but you're resisting it. So what is the change that you're resisting? Queen of Swords, there's your truth. Why? Two of Swords. There's an indecision here. Ways to lean into this change. King of Pentacles in reverse. And what's possible when you do? Okay, you got 2. Swords energy. A lot of swords energy. And bottom of the deck here is Knight of Cups. This is really powerful. There's a cognitive exhaustion with something, possibly within a connection, a relationship, a path that you're following that should feel more expansive, more loving, more heart-led, but it's not. And I feel you're in this moment of making a decision, maybe trying to find those answers, but not getting anywhere. So you're in somewhat of a stalemate. And you are resisting this change because I feel there's a logic aspect to this and there's an intuitive aspect to this. And right now, I don't feel you are moving with your heart. You are trying to find the most logical way forward of how can I soften this, make this easier, make this simpler, make this make sense before I make the decision. I'm looking for clarity before I decide. But intuitively, I think you already have that clarity. You already know what you want to do, how you want to move, what you want to decide upon, and what that decision is. But there's a conditioning or a belief or an emotion, even just a logic that is saying, that seems silly, or that's not what we do. That's not how we decide. That's not how we make decisions. So there could be an identity wrapped up in this. So with the Queen, the change that you are resisting is making the decision that you know to be true. And doing so in a way that is clear but compassionate. The Queen, she collects information. She looks for the truth. She looks at the facts. And I feel that you might feel that that is unkind if you make a decision that is to the point, that is straightforward, that is clear, that is unwavering. It's almost like you feel like you have to justify or over-explain or soften this decision somehow. And there could be a reason for that. But don't allow the softness to get in the way. King of Pentacles in reverse is ways to lean into this change. And this king, when he's in the reverse, he's willing to lose some things. He's willing to let go of some things. In the physical world, this could be an income stream. This could be an environment. This could be a business. This could be a way of living, a lifestyle. So there's a sacrifice of something here to live more truthfully. And what's possible when you lean into this change that you might be resisting is finally coming to this end point. Because it's no longer sustainable in the way that you've been showing up. Now, this could be a mindset, but this also could be something that has been a long time coming. And so this is the final endpoint. This is this moment where it's darkest before the dawn and it's most challenging. But it's finished in the way that it needs to be. It is complete. It is closed. You no longer have to fight, metaphorically speaking, to keep things going. To keep yourself in this stalemate and stuck at this crossroads of do I, don't I, and trying to keep a truth that might not be correct for you to try to keep that going. You give up the fight and you allow something to end with this decision. And while that might be really painful and challenging and difficult, it is the change that you might need to restore your energy, to learn something new about yourself, or to lean into what you've learned, what you've understood to be true, to follow your heart more. So that is today's reflections, my dear Soul Path 3. Join my inner circle on Patreon or work with me one-on-one to turn these insights into grounded action. Links are in the description. Also, please like and subscribe to support the channel and to see more videos like this. Thank you again, and I'll see you in your next reading.